What's good with y'all, man? It's your boy Tick, aka Game Fanatic, Michael Jordan the Game, and welcome to my new series called Bring It Back. This series is about bringing back old games that were very, very good and famous back in the day, and we all were left wondering what happened to them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring these games back and make a video talking about hashtag Bring It Back, and hopefully the developers see all the likes and comments in the video and they decide to actually work on these titles. So the first game we're going to talk about today is a game that I enjoyed a lot as a teenager, which is called the NFL Street Series. I used to play this series all through high school. It took a lot of my time, other than schoolwork and actual football. But when I didn't do any of that nonsense, I was in the house playing on my PlayStation 2 NFL Streets 1 or Streets 2. And I used to play it religiously. So, if you guys don't have any idea about the game was published and made by EA Sports Big, which was a company that started out in 2000 and then ended in 2008. They were known for games like SXX, NFL Streets, NBA Street, and FIFA Street, and also Def Jam Vendetta and Def Jam Fight for New York. Two games that are very highly known and loved. I don't know what happened to the development company, but they are still with EA. They're just named EA Sports now. But the gameplay for NFL Street was very much like, you know, your Midway Blitz titles. Very arcade style gameplay, very fast paced, with a lot of huge hits and bone crushing tackles. Like it was amazing. I loved this game when I first played it. It was very, very, very beautiful game. Had a very cartoonish art style, which, you know, went well with the arcade style of gameplay. You had all the NFL teams in the game, you know, from, you know, my favorite team, the Dallas Cowboys, all the way to, you know, my most rival team, the Redskins. You had all the NFL teams, and you had a few other players. You didn't have all, you know, whatever, 200 million players or whatever on the team. You had just the stars, pretty much. But the game was still great. The music on the game was wonderful also. There were a lot of songs from a lot of underground artists, rock bands that no one heard about that actually became famous because of the game. They had me singing them all through the game, and they actually played the music through the gameplay, which was a very good taste. The game, like I said, was very fast-paced. It didn't last too long. Most games lasted about 10 minutes if you knew what you were doing. And if you didn't know what you were doing, they probably lasted about 15 minutes, which wasn't long at all because all you had to do was score 36 points or more. So it was a very, very fast-paced game with a lot of crazy off-the-wall moves like behind-the-back passes, high-flying off-the-wall catches, crazy dives, like I said, hard-hitting tackles, crazy juke moves, and things like that. So, premise of the game was you had what's called game breakers, which you guys who play NBA Streets may know about. So you had the game breakers on NFL Street. The way to do it was you had to either taunt your players, the other players, while running the ball by doing a different amount of taunts and combos with it, bouncing off the wall if you had NFL Street 2, or juking out the players or stiff arming them. This all got you points towards your game breaker. Now, on the first NFL Street, you only had the game breaker 1, which only thing it did was it made your players unstoppable. They were just immovable forces that would just run through anyone. On the second game, I didn't have the third, by the way, but the second game, you had what was called Game Breaker 2, which would cause a little cutscene like you're seeing right here, where your team would pull off some miraculous-looking move, and then you'll be upfield and you'll probably score. No one really does stop you. The only thing that can happen was you would probably fumble. That's it. But anything other than that, your guy was unstoppable. So you had all of that with the game. Another thing that was good about the game was they had their own storyline. It was called Own the City. Own the City was the game mode where you would go to earn points or earn, you know, clothing and things for your players. Now, you heard that, EA? No microtransactions. We don't want those. Make it so we earn our clothing and things. We don't want to have to go and pay extra money for some points just to get these things, because that is ripping us off. So all you had to do was play Own the City, and Own the City was narrated by X to the Z Exhibit, but this was back in, you know, the day when Exhibit was very famous, and this was on NFL 2. I don't know if he was on NFL Streets 1, but NFL Streets 2, he was the narrator. And he would tell you about the things you had to do, and you had to try to take over the city with your team. So what you had to do was you can either play as an NFL team, or you could just make your character and play with NFL players, or you could create your own team. And they offered a wide range of customization in this game. You had tons of clothing you could wear, clothes of hairstyles to choose from, body types. You could be skinny or fat. I chose bulky, by the way, because that's what I look like. I'm coming! Here I come! But You can choose from a variety of different customization options, and I mean, it was a huge array. So if you do bring the game back, EA, make sure that huge customization is there. Play the old games and see what it looks like. It was amazing. So after that, after you have your team created, you'll be told that you have to do what are called event games. Event games are what earns you points for your players and to buy clothing. So if you have a created team, this is what you want to do to earn points to build your players' stats up. And as you complete them, you want to get I think a medal score, and I believe it's like gold, silver, and bronze, whatever. Yeah, so you do that and you get your points and everything, and then you add, your points to your player stats. Now, after you do all that, then you have to play an NFL team. Once you beat that NFL team, you are able to take one of their players and add them to your roster. I didn't do this until the Legends game, where you have to play all the Legends, because the Legends are definitely worth taking, especially if you played online. And that's another thing that was great about this game. The online is what took most of my time. I used to play online, and I used to play in creative player lobbies all the time. So creative team lobbies was the one I played in, where you play other people's creative teams, which was great. I loved it. Now the only problem was some people would just take all the legends that they earned and use them as their creative teams, and it was kind of OP, but I still found ways to use them because you just had to know how to play the game. But anyway, man, I'm hoping EA Sports is listening to this. I want this game to come back. I don't know what happened to it. I saw EA Sports try to bring in FIFA Street back. The problem was that FIFA Street didn't have that arcade style feel, didn't have all those crazy outlandish moves. It looked like FIFA just playing on the streets, and I guess that's why it failed. But if you do bring this back, or NBA Street, which we're more than likely going to show later on, hint hint, if you do decide to bring this game back, please bring the arcade cartoonish style back, and the over-the-top moves, and all the customization, and the music, and the own the city, and all that other good stuff back, man. And I swear this game will sell like crazy, EA Sports. But anyway, leave a comment on how you feel. Do you hope it comes back? And then leave hashtag bring it back at the end of that comment so EA can see it. This is your boy Tick, and I'm gone.